lads, welcome back to the channel, and today we are doing a brand new video on the channel. We're going to be starting a new series for the Premier League season. It's going to be Premier League predictions. It's going to be pretty much the same as the Championship prediction series I've been doing for a while now, but just with Premier League teams, obviously, pretty much no brainer. But yeah, without further ado, we're just going to get straight into it. The Championship video is probably already out by the time you're seeing this, so go watch that and drop it a like, and if you've not seen that already. So yeah, thanks for clicking on the video, and we're just going to go straight into the Premier League predictions. First of all, on Saturday, the first game is 12:30 between Everton and West Brom. Everton currently in 8th spot on 3 points, whereas West Brom bottom of the table on 0 points. Everton in the last three beat Preston 2-0, and then beat Spurs 1-0 in their Premier League game, and then beat Salford 3-0, also in their Carabao Cup game. Obviously, Everton have strengthened quite a bit with signs of Allen, James Rodriguez, so they're going to be a strong side this season. Ancelotti in his first full season in charge, so I think Everton could be a strong side, maybe a contenders for top 4, maybe, who knows. West Brom, on the other hand, they drew 0-0 against Brighton, lost 3-0 against Leicester on their first Premier League game back, and then won 3-0 against Harrogate in the Carabao Cup. For this one, I think Everton, they're just too strong for West Brom. West Brom also got beat 3-0 by Leicester, and I think Everton are a strong side in Leicester. I don't think Everton will score as many goals as Leicester did. Obviously, West Brom probably going to be looking to shore up that defence a bit more, but I think it'll be another comfortable win for Everton, and West Brom will be condemned to another loss. So I think for this game, I'm going to go for a 2-0 home win for Everton. Next game is between Leeds and Fulham, kicking off at 3 o'clock on Saturday, the only game at the traditional time. Leeds 13th on 0 points, whereas Fulham 19th on 0 points. Leeds, obviously, they lost 4-3 against Liverpool in a really good game there. A real advert for Premier League football, that, to show Leeds their first game back in the Premier League for, I don't know, out like 20 odd years or something, but they showed that they're probably going to stay here for quite a while. But then they did go and shockingly lose to Hull on penalties in the Carabao Cup. It was 1-1 after normal time. Fulham, on the other hand, they obviously lost 3-0 against Arsenal in their starting game of the Premier League season. In the first game of the Premier League season there, so 3-0 loss for them, just like West Brom reintroducing in the Championship with a heavy loss. And then in their Carabao Cup game, they beat Ipswich 1-0 to progress through to the next round to play Wednesday. For this one, I think it'll be a close game, but I think Leeds will just edge this one and win it 2-1. Next game is Man United's return to the Premier League after they obviously were in Europe and they're back in it. It kicks off at 5:30. They play Crystal Palace at Old Trafford. They're obviously in 12th spot with 0 points, not played yet. Their only last game result I could find was the game against Sevilla in the Europa League semi-final, which they lost 2-1. Obviously, Sevilla going on to win it. Palace, on the other hand, in their last three, they drew 1-0 against Brom, being a friendly. Their first Premier League game went to plan, beating Southampton 1-0. And I forgot to say, they're sat in 7th spot on 3 points, so yeah. Obviously, as I've just said, they beat Southampton 1-0 in their first Premier League game, and then in their Carabao Cup game, their first Carabao Cup game, they unfortunately went out on penalties against Bournemouth in that crazy penalty shootout. For this one, though, I think Man United, obviously, their first game of the season, they're a strong side. Many people tipping them to get, a few people tipping them to get to the title. I don't think they'll do that, but I think they've definitely got top 3 there. So for this one, I think it'll be a comfortable win for Man United, and I think they'll win this one 3-1. Next game is kicking off at 8 o'clock on the Saturday, and it is between Arsenal and West Ham. Arsenal sat top of the league currently on 3 points after they beat Fulham 3-0 in their first game of the season. West Ham, on the other hand, they are in that top relegation spot on 0 points after they lost their first game. Arsenal, they won the Community Shield as the first of their last 2 games. They went on penalties against Liverpool after it was 1-0 in normal time. And then they obviously beat Fulham 3-0 in the first game of the Premier League season. West Ham, they lost 5-3 against Bournemouth in the friendly, and then obviously lost 2-0 against Newcastle in their first Premier League game, but then comfortably went through in the Carabao Cup, winning 3-0 against Charlton. For this one, I think it'll be a comfortable game for Arsenal. Obviously, West Ham, they are a decent side on paper, but they never really perform. They underperform 99% of the time, I think. So for this one, I think it'll be a comfortable win for Arsenal, and I think they'll win this one 2-0. Next game is between Southampton and Spurs, the first game on the Sunday, kicking off at 12 o'clock. Southampton in 14th spot on 0 points, Spurs on 15th spot on 0 points, so 40 minutes to 15th here. Doesn't really mean anything though, does it? Second game of the season. Lost 1-0 to Palace in that game, which sees them sat in 14th spot, their first game of the season, and lost 2-0 to Brentford in the Carabao Cup. Spurs, on the other hand, they have not had, like Southampton, they've not had a great start to the season, losing 2-1 against Watford in a friendly, then losing 1-0 against Everton in the league, and then scraping past Lokomotiv Plovdiv in the Europa League qualification there, scoring 2 late goals after Plovdiv got 2 men sent off. So scraping through there, Spurs. Obviously, the signing of Gareth Bale looks imminent, but I just don't think Spurs have got a strong enough side. I think when Bale comes in, they'll improve quite a bit. So for the time being, I think this will be a draw, and I think it will finish as a 1-1 draw between Southampton and Spurs. Next game between Newcastle and Brighton, kicking off at 2 o'clock on that Sunday, just 2 hours after the Southampton Spurs game. Newcastle obviously sat in 4th spot at the minute with 3 points after they beat West Ham in their opening game of the Premier League season, whereas Brighton is sat in 16th on 0 points. Newcastle, in their last 3, they lost 1-0 against Stoke in a friendly, then beat West Ham 2-0 in the league, and then beat Blackburn 1-0 in their Carabao Cup tie. Brighton, on the other hand, they drew 0-0 against West Brom in a friendly, lost 3-1 against Chelsea in the league. That result does not reflect it really. They played really well there, and then I think they played pretty much similar against Portsmouth. So they hammered them 4-0 in the Carabao Cup. So for this one, despite Brighton not being on as clean a form as Newcastle, I think they will win this one, as Brighton played excellent against Chelsea. So for this one, I'm going to go for a 2-1 away win for Brighton. Next game is a big game in terms of the top areas of the table, title race, I guess you could say. Kicks off at 4:30 on the Sunday, and it's between Chelsea and Liverpool, 2 teams that many people are tipping for the title this season. Chelsea, 3rd spot on 3 points, drew 1-1 against Brighton pre-season friendly, and then played them in the league and beat them 3-1, as I've just said with Brighton in the prediction before. Liverpool, they lost on penalties against Arsenal in the Community Shield there after 1-0 in normal time, and they hammered Blackpool 7-2 in a friendly. I'm pretty sure they were losing 2-0 in that game. So, and then their first Premier League game went to plan, winning 4-3 against Leeds to get their Premier League season off to a good start. For this one, though, I think both teams on paper strong teams, and I think if Chelsea's played have gelled quite a bit, I think they could probably beat Liverpool quite easily, but I don't think they have. So for this one, I'm going to go for a 2-2 draw. Next game is between Leicester City and Burnley. Kicks off at 7 o'clock on the Sunday. Leicester currently sat in 2nd spot on 3 points. Burnley 10th on 0, obviously, with them not playing yet. Obviously, they were due to play either Man City or Man United. I can't remember which one. I think it was Man U. Leicester in their last 3 drew 0-0 against Wednesday in a friendly, then 1-0 against Blackburn in a friendly, and then their first game of the Premier League season, comfortably winning 3-0 over West Brom. West Brom? I'm going to lisp. West Brom. I don't know what I've done there, lads. They then drew Burnley on the other hand. They drew 0-0 against Preston in a friendly, and then beat United on penalties. Sheffield United, that is, on penalties after they drew 1-0 in normal time. And I think this will be a comfortable win for Leicester, like it was for them against West Brom. So for this one, I'm going to go for a 2-0 home win for Leicester. On to the first of 2 Monday night games, and it kicks off at 6 o'clock between Aston Villa, who are sitting 9th spot on 0 points, not played, and Sheffield United, who are in 17th spot on 0 points after they lost their first game of the season. Villa, I could only find one last result from this season, and it was a 3-1 win over Burton in the Carabao Cup after they were 1-0 down after 2 minutes, but they managed to bring it back. United drew 2-2 against Preston, lost 2-0 against Wolves, and then lost on penalties against Burnley after it was 1-0 in normal time as their last 3. For this one, I think United, maybe they're getting second season syndrome, I don't know. Villa obviously strengthened with the likes of Ollie Watkins and Matty Cash, top quality championship players there. So for this one, I think it will be a close game, and I think it will finish as a 1-1 draw. On to the final game now of the Premier League game week, and it kicks off at 8:15 on Monday, and it is between Wolves and Man City. Man City's first game back, trying to regain that title off Liverpool. Wolves are in 5th spot currently after winning their first game on 3 points. Man City obviously not played, 11th spot on 0 points. Can only find 2 results for Wolves. They beat United 2-0 in their first Premier League game, and then lost 1-0 against Stoke in the Carabao Cup. City, on the other hand, their only result from in previous games was a 3-1 loss against Lyon in the Champions League, which saw them a shock crash out there against Lyon. For this one, I think it'll be a very high-scoring game, obviously. Both teams very good going forward, not as strong defensively. So for this one, I think it'll be a very high-scoring game and a close game, but I'm going to go for a 3-2 away win for Man City. Alright lads, that is the end of my first ever Premier League predictions video. Thank you very much for watching it, and yeah, if you're new around here, drop a subscription and like the video while you're at it, and comment any Premier League predictions you've got down below. Anyway, that's the end of the video lads. Remember to check out the Championship predictions video, it's probably out already now. So thanks for watching the video, and I'll see you in the next one lads.